The legal system can force open doors and sometimes even knock down walls, but it cannot build bridges. That job belongs to you and me. The country can't do it. Afro and white, rich and poor, educated and illiterate, our fates are bound together. We can run from each other, but we cannot escape each other. We will only obtain freedom if we learn to appreciate what is different and muster the courage to discover what is fundamentally the same. America's diversity offers so much richness and opportunity. Take a chance, won't you? Knock down the fences which divide. Tear apart the walls that imprison you. Reach out. Freedom lies just on the other side. We shall have liberty for all.
I'm really excited that the Southwest Neighborhood Assembly has had the opportunity to document this, our history of one of our great African Americans. And right here where we live.
He was one of the great forces in my life. He was smart, he was rough, he was tough, he was brilliant, and he changed the country. And as with a number of other people here, I loved him a lot.
Thank you. Washington, D.C. is my hometown. My family has been a part of Washington since 1902. And we have all, my family, my nephew is here today, my daughter's here today, every one of us born and reared in Washington, D.C. I went to kindergarten at Cleveland School at 7th and T, to Shaw Junior High School, graduated from the famous Dunbar High School in 1936, went on to Minor Teachers College and graduated in 1940, and then taught and was a counselor in D.C. public schools for 27 years. The schools were segregated. I taught 3rd grade at Garfield School and had 52 children in one classroom. And Ann Beer School down the street had 12 in a 3rd grade when we integrated. That's how important Brown versus the Board of Education was. And Thurgood Marshall was a leader in this effort. He was denied admission to the University of Maryland. I just had a show at University College at the University of Maryland.
It was only 55 years ago throughout much of this country that it was a crime for people of different races to congregate together in restaurants, theaters, and even on trains. Thanks to the persistence and the strategy of Thurgood Marshall and the NAACP, in 55 years ago today, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously overturned what had become known as the doctrine of separate but equal. Separate educational facilities, said the court, are inherently unequal. The principle of Brown against Board of Education quickly spread to other public facilities. By 1963, it was settled law that a state could no longer require segregation in any public facilities. By the time of Brown against Board of Education, 55 years ago today, legal scholars the world over recognized Thurgood Marshall as one of America's most important and influential attorneys.
It's perhaps ironic in some respects, but perhaps also fitting, that a piece of technology from a bygone era of policing, in which many times law enforcement was viewed as the oppressor, is being used to promote the memory and honor the life work of such a dedicated civil rights leader as Justice Marshall. On behalf of the Metropolitan Police Department and Chief Kathy Lanier, I would like to thank the Southwest Neighborhood Association for once again doing our call boxes proud. And thank you all.
Artwork featured on this call box was created by Annie King Phillips
for the 55th anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, which ended school segregation. Program funders and managers, DC City Councilman Tommy Wells, Ward 6, Advisory Neighborhood Commission, 6D, Cultural Tourism, DC, DC Commissions of Arts and Humanities, DC Creative Public Arts Programs, District Department of Transportation, Office of Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development. The local sponsors are the Southwest Neighborhood Assembly, St. Augustine's Episcopal Church, and Earth Conservation Corps. The last line says, "This call box is dedicated to the memory of Justice Thurgood Marshall, who lived in this Capitol Park neighborhood at 64 G Street Southwest, when he was named to the U.S. Supreme Court by President Lyndon Baines Johnson in 1967.